tune into the latest news, and you'll likely encounter a significant issue concerning China. As the world's second most populous country, China is grappling with a demographic crisis marked by an aging population. The impact of China's demographics on its economic prospects is undeniably substantial. Amid concerns about a demographic deficit, some predict a slowdown in China's economy, questioning its ability to surpass the United States as the world's largest economy. But is this prediction accurate? In this video, we delve into the intricacies of China's aging population and explore the nation's proactive measures to address the declining demographic trends. Discover how China is positioning itself to sustain economic growth in the face of demographic challenges. Before we delve deeper, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos like this one. Low fertility rate and an aging population. In delving into the fundamental aspects of China's demographics, it's crucial to understand the profound impact of its low fertility rate and the burgeoning issue of an aging population. According to UN data, the average number of children per woman in China has drastically declined over the decades, reaching a recent low of 1.2 in the 2020s. This decline, influenced by factors like urbanization and the now-abandoned one-child policy, poses a significant challenge even for a nation as powerful as China. United Nations medium projections foretell a decline in China's population from 1.425 billion in 2020 to 1.313 billion in 2050, with the country's share of the world population dropping from 22% in 1980 to 14% in 2050. Meanwhile, India's share is anticipated to rise to 17% by 2050. The demographic challenges extend beyond just low fertility rates, as China is also grappling with an aging population. Persistently low birth rates in China are attributed to economic constraints, inadequate workplace and government support for parents, especially mothers, and decades of messaging promoting the advantages of raising a single child. Concurrently, advancements in health have led to a significant increase in the life expectancy of China's elderly population. While the overall population is expected to shrink by 113 million between 2020 and 2050, the number of individuals over 65 is projected to surge by 215 million. This shift will see those over 65 skyrockets from 13% to 30% of the population, while those aged under 20 will decrease from 24% to 15%, and the group between 20 and 64 will shrink from 64% to 55%. However, before concluding that China may not be an attractive investment destination, it's worth considering Japan's example. Despite having the highest proportion of elderly citizens globally, Japan remains a favored destination for international investments. Approximately 29.1% of Japan's population is expected to be 65 and older by 2022, with estimates projecting one-third by 2050. This raises a pertinent question. If investors are optimistic about Japan, with arguably more severe demographic challenges, why not consider the potential of China? Addressing China's demographic deficit. When India surpassed China to become the world's most populous country, the Western media eagerly broadcasted the news, depicting India as the largest democratic nation poised to overtake China in the coming decades. While China does grapple with an aging and diminishing population, a significant population size is just one factor contributing to a nation's economic prosperity. Consider small nations like Qatar, Singapore, and Switzerland, each with a population of less than 10 million, yet they rank among the world's wealthiest. Analyzing the data reveals that China's labor force reached a plateau in 2015 and has since experienced a gradual decline. However, the country's productivity has continued to rise, nearly doubling its GDP. This indicates that although China's productivity growth has slowed in recent years, it still propels overall economic expansion. While population does play a crucial role in a country's economy, a declining population doesn't necessarily spell economic decline. To address its demographic deficit, China is exploring several strategies. One approach involves gradually raising the retirement age to adapt to the rapidly aging population. Jin Weigang, president of the Chinese Academy of Labor and Social Security Sciences, outlined a progressive, flexible, and differentiated path to raising the retirement age. This entails initial delays by a few months, with subsequent increases. Although China has not officially announced a change to its retirement age, plans are underway. Currently, China has one of the world's lowest retirement age, 60 for men, 55 for white-collar women, and 50 for women in factories. The National Health Commission projects a surge in the population aged 60 and over from 280 million to over 400 million by 2035, equivalent to the combined populations of Britain and the United States. With life expectancy surpassing that of the United States, rising from 44 years in 1960 to 78 years in 2021, and projected to exceed 80 years by 2050, China is actively addressing its demographic challenges. As China's population ages, there is a simultaneous increase in life expectancy. Elevating the retirement age emerges as a viable strategy to maintain stability in the country's overall workforce. Urbanization and advancing the value chain. While China is experiencing a swift rise in its aging population, the country is still in the early stages of population aging. Nevertheless, the shift in the age structure due to this aging trend will have widespread implications. Despite a decline in the working-age population, the labor supply remains abundant. For example, China's working-age population, aged 16 to 59, stood at 880 million in 2020 and is projected to be around 820 million by 2035. Even if the working-age population decreases to 650 million in 2050, it will still surpass the combined working-age population of developed countries. Another avenue for enhancing workforce productivity in China is through urbanization, with a relatively low urbanization rate of 65.2% compared to the US at 80% and Japan at 92%, there is room for growth. Shifting citizens from rural areas to larger cities can sustain and potentially increase workforce productivity. Economists predict that China's urbanization rate will surpass earlier international forecasts in the coming decade, serving as a remedy for the country's shrinking workforce and declining birth rate. The projection suggests that around 75% of the Chinese population will reside in cities by 2030, a significant increase from the current 64%. In addition to urbanization, China is actively undergoing a transformative shift up its value chain. Traditional labor-intensive production is making way for technology-driven, low-carbon methods. The nation's human capital is steadily strengthening, poised to become a driving force for high-quality development. Positioned as a leader in industrial automation, China has installed 50% of the world's industrial robots, indicating a trajectory where labor shortages are unlikely in the foreseeable future, with the potential for significant underutilization of the workforce. Undoubtedly, research and development serves as the bedrock of innovation. In a globally interconnected community reliant on technology, how countries harness their R&D efforts significantly influences economic prosperity and the quality of life enjoyed by their citizens. While China historically relied on its manufacturing prowess to drive economic development, it is increasingly positioning itself to compete with countries whose economies are deeply rooted in innovation-based growth. China has made substantial progress in establishing itself as a pioneer in emerging industries, with its leaders increasingly emphasizing innovation as a driver of economic growth. According to the OECD, China's R&D spending constituted a mere 0.72% of its GDP in 1991, when it was the 10th largest economy globally, just behind Canada, which contributed 1.53% of its GDP to R&D in the same year. Over the subsequent decades, China witnessed a remarkable over 35-fold increase in R&D expenditure, soaring from $13.1 billion in 1991 to $462.6 billion in 2018. In that year, China outspent the combined R&D budgets of the next four countries: Japan, Germany, South Korea, and France. This substantial investment underscores China's dedication to fostering innovation and reshaping its economy from labor-intensive manufacturing to high-tech industries and consumption-led growth. While it is undeniable that China faces a demographic deficit, we remain optimistic that it won't exert a significant impact on the country's economic growth. Considering the presented data and the proactive measures implemented by the Chinese government, we anticipate continued economic expansion. What do you think? We invite you to share your thoughts and comments below. If you find the content engaging, please hit the like button to express your support for this video. Most importantly, ensure you subscribe to our channel to receive more compelling videos similar to this one.